July 2nd, North Liberty Planning Commission meeting to order. Could I please have roll call attendance?
Bathke?
Here.
Yes, Gisner?
Here.
Heisler's not. Yachty?
Here.
Ward?
Here.
Ahern?
Here.
And Weiler. Okay.
Okay, first item, I need an approval of the agenda. Anyone, I'd welcome a motion.
I'll move to approve the agenda.
I have a motion. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, it's approved. Any public comment for items not on the agenda? We'll keep moving. Next item is the election of a chairperson. So can we have a chance to have informal conversation amongst ourselves?
You sure can.
So I've been chair for the past year. Not a lot of work. You lead the meeting. The city staff absolutely help you completely, especially Grant with Robert's Rules of Order and what to remember. Tracy, everybody helps out. So if anyone is interested in trying it, please share that. And if you wanted somebody, a longer term person for support as a vice, we can talk about it. But if anyone's interested, I definitely support you if you want to.
I haven't run a meeting in 25 years.
Sure, I would love to.
Would you?
Yeah, sure.
Great. Well, I'm more than happy to nominate you.
Great.
Okay.
We'll need a motion to do that.
All right. Well, I motion to nominate Yachty for chair. And is
I'll
there a
second.
second? Do we need a roll call on that?
You do not.
Okay, we'll just do a voice vote all at once. All in favor of Yachty as chairperson, say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Congratulations, Ian.
Chairperson, yes. Can we actually scoot now, or do we?
You sure can if you want. That's perfectly appropriate, unless Ms. Yachty, you prefer to remain seated over there. It doesn't matter. But if you want to
But
pass,
can she lead the rest of the meeting?
she absolutely can, and we will walk you through the rest of it.
Great.
Travel car.
Now.
Jumping right in. Actually, I'll just swap you and let you sit here, okay? Yep, come on down. I'll leave my pen in case you have any notes. Oh, I don't need to.
This is emblematic of our typical
How about you sit right here?
setups here.
Just in case. You need to whisper something.
All right.
Oh,
I always keep paper in this, but it's completely up to you.
Perfect.
How you take people through it. Because the next agenda item is the election of a vice chair.
Okay.
Who would serve when you're gone. Sorry, I was just reviewing the other parts.
No, you're good.
That's a live one, so however you want to go.
All right.
And if you ever wonder if the vote is all at once or a roll call per person, look to Grant.
Perfect.
I'll make it up.
Okay, great. I'm good at that. Okay, next item on the agenda is election of a vice chairperson.
Anyone else interested? Would you like to try it at all?
I'm not wildly interested, but if necessary, I could probably have my arm twisted, but not real interested.
same boat. But I can do it too. So
Okay.
You okay with Barry?
Great.
sure.
Okay. Because you fill in when she's gone, so it's not a huge,
handle that.
and that's really how you coordinate when you're going to be gone. You let them know. or
Okay.
us.
Yeah.
Well, I would motion to nominate Barry Ahern.
Can we get a second?
I'll second that.
All right.
Moved and seconded.
And then so we got motion for second, so we need a voice vote.
All in favor.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Did you vote?
No, aye.
Okay. That'll do it then.
Okay, perfect.
Barry, you didn't vote?
Was I supposed to?
Yeah.
Aye.
There we go. That'll do it.
You don't want to comment.
That's five. That's five. That's 5-0.
I would always forget to vote.
Okay. So next up on the agenda is item number 6, preliminary subdivision plat Request of Primestone Residential to approve a preliminary subdivision plat for a 30-lot subdivision on approximately 43.7 acres. Property is generally located on the north side of West Evergreen Road, approximately 150 feet west of Covered Bridge Boulevard.
Madam Chair, if I may, I was going to say, normally at our agendas, items would have a portion for a staff presentation and then an applicant presentation. This agenda is a little unusual. It's just an agenda item, but Madam Chair, I would suggest that you proceed in our usual fashion, which with a staff presentation first.
Okay. Do we have a staff presentation?
We do. Okay, well, thanks for the intro there. So this is not necessarily a new site for many of you because we were here in May for a rezoning. I'll give a little bit of background like Russ would, and then we'll have an applicant presentation if there is any, and then an opportunity to ask whatever questions you have. So this is a preliminary plat. It's got a combination of single-family lots, multifamily, RM8 and RM12. There's also two commercial lots on there of about 7 acres along Forever Green Road. Public road right-of-way, a total acreage of 43.7 acres. So what you see here is representative of a process that we've gone through working with the applicant and the property owner to develop a preliminary plat, which would lay out things like utilities, roads, lots, grading, all the items that Russ had listed in his plan as these are the items that a preliminary plat is supposed to include. So some of those I'll hit on is obviously we have, what's important is the routing of the roadways. We do have Alexander Way coming north-south through the property. That's important because Alexander Way is a main collector street for North Liberty. It's been lined up on the north side to match up with prior subdivisions to the north, so they're in the right spot. And as we talked about during the rezoning, the location of Alexander Way at Forever Green Road has been worked out and planned to be coordinated with the city of Coralville, future development to the south, as well as where we want to see access to Forever Green Road and the spacing of that along that road. So that's the collector. We do have Harlan Street. That's the east-west street. There you see at the top of the property. Again, that matches up with Forever Green Estates, which has already been paved to the west side and will be continued through and over to the east for continuation. There's one cul-de-sac street that's unnamed there. You can see we have that street because we only will have one access to Forever Green Road. In general, I mentioned single family, and this was a bit of a discussion during the rezoning. That we have the RS6 single family all along the north row, and then down the east side. The RM8 is the next step over to the left of the cul-de-sac, and then across Alexander you have RM12, which is a more dense multifamily use, which matches what's in Forever Green to the west. So there was a lot of discussion about stepping that down from west to east, and no surprise, the preliminary plat reflects that as well. Speaking of roadways and Alexander Way, the plat does anticipate that intersection of Alexander Way and Forever Green Road will be kind of a main intersection here on to the future, and so includes both a wider road to accommodate a left turn lane and or a splitter island. He shows some different options there of how that intersection might be upgraded in the future, either signalized or roundabout, and they provide additional right-of-way to accommodate that. So all those things were comments that we had and were addressed. The other big thing of the preliminary plat is utilities. So they address sanitary sewer and how they're going to sewer this property. They are taking the sewer south into the Fox Valley Basin, which is across to the south of the road. That's consistent with our long-term sewer plan, that this parcel is supposed to be sewered and go to that basin. So it's consistent with that. If you look through the packet, you notice that sewer does go south across the road through another property to get to Fox Valley. That can be accommodated. That's an off-site easement, And currently, the property owner is the same on both sides of the road. So they're not expecting any issue with that, of course. The other big thing it touches on is storm sewer and drainage. There's ponds on the site to accommodate the stormwater runoff from the residential. The commercial lots on the front would provide their own on-site storm sewer is the idea. So that box is checked. And of course, it includes water main connections from Forever Green Road and along Harlan of all the sizes and the correct number of hydrants and things like that. So the preliminary plat's obviously a concept. It's not the final construction plans, but it's got all the pieces that we look at. So there were 2 staff findings, which I'll read here. The preliminary plat, which proposes commercial development, would achieve consistency with the comprehensive plat future land map designation of urban high intensity. And secondly, the preliminary plat would achieve consistency with section 180.11 and 180.12 of the North Liberty Code of Ordinances, which sets forth the preliminary subdivision plat requirements and design standards. And staff recommends the commission accept the 2 listed findings and forward that request to the council.
Great. Thank you. We'll move on to applicant presentation.
Yeah, my name is Bryce Aachen. I'm with McClure Engineering, and we're the engineer for the Primestone Residential Group that put this preliminary plat together. I think Josiah covered the bulk of this project pretty well, so I'll answer any questions if you have any.
Great. Any questions?
I had one. I was trying to understand because I know Forever Green is a major one, so we limit how many access points, but I thought it said in the packet too that Alexander would be a collector, so we were going to limit how many connection points to that as well. Did I remember that right? Because I was trying to understand to the west of Alexander,
Yeah,
how will they be able to develop or access that?
that's typical. We would look at that. So that large lot to the west of Alexander that's commercial, typically that would have some internal streets, but we would limit that to an access off Alexander or one off Harlan, something like that. So,
But not another one to Forever Green.
but not another one to Forever Green, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the things Josiah and I have gone back and forth about is the spacing of the entrances to those commercial lots from Forever Green. So on our preliminary plat, we show a turning lane in that area that would allow access to both of those off of Alexander Way.
Alexander. Yeah.
Yep.
Great. Okay.
Thank you.
Any public comments? Okay. Does anyone have any questions or comments?
It's like another excellent collaboration between engineers and staff. Refreshing to see some RS6 again. Seems like it's been a while.
Yeah.
Well, I move the Planning Commission accept the 2 listed findings and forward the preliminary subdivision plat to the City Council with a recommendation for approval.
Great. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Next on the agenda. Sorry, we need to vote.
For this one, you would want a roll, ask if there's any further discussion.
Okay.
And if not, then you would ask Deputy Byers to have for a roll call.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, then we'll go for a roll call vote.
You bet. Ward
Aye.
and Gisner,
Aye.
Yadi,
Aye.
Bathke,
Aye.
Ahern.
Aye.
Okay. We'll move on to approval of the previous minutes. Is there a motion for approval?
I'll move to approve the previous minutes.
Great. Can we get a second?
I'll second.
Okay.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. We'll move on to any old business.
Nothing from us.
Okay. Any new business?
No.
Probably not. I don't. You guys have any new business?
No.
All right. No. Sorry.
Okay.
Did we already do the introductions of the new member last month and I missed it?
Yes.
No.
Please welcome Valerie Ward as the Planning and Zoning Commission. I had the pleasure of meeting with Valerie. Russ is out on vacation right now. We put him on a boat, and in theory he's going to be back. But bon voyage to Russ. And so I had the pleasure of welcoming Valerie to the commission. And I understand she has a history, background in architecture, and just delighted to have you here. So.
Thank you.
Feel free to chime in or visit afterwards if you like. But I really enjoyed meeting you. Glad to have you here.
Thank you. I'm excited.
So yeah, there's your newest business. Sorry.
Okay. Then we can go ahead and get a motion to adjourn.
You can even do it.
I can do it myself.
You don't even have to add.
Great. Even better.
You are allowed to move to adjourn if you feel the mood is right.
Okay. I'll move to adjourn the meeting then.
You'll need a second.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Remember to vote that time.
You're adjourned.
All right.
Well done.
Great job.
Fine work, everybody.
Congratulations.
Great.